I could not think of a more perfect person to end our Conquer Week than the person who is probably responsible for us even being here. She is a tremendous woman. She's a survivor. She's gifted. She's talented, hardworking, and loving. And boy, oh boy, has she had a tough life. She's going to talk to you about how you can overcome your past, how you can conquer generational curses, you can conquer strongholds, you can conquer a family history that does not include serving God and living a great life. She's that example. Now, she is the person that prayed me out of the pits of hell. She's the person that has cheerleaded me, encouraged me, and has been there for me ever since I was born. And she's my mother. Take a look at just a snippet of what she shares from her life. And I tell y'all, she only shared the PG version. Her life hasn't been easy. She had me when she was 19 and lived, even before that, a very, very poor life of poverty, crime, drugs, and she overcame. Y'all be blessed by my mom's testimony and read more about her in the description. And if you want to be a blessing to her, her information's below. Let's see, how do you conquer all the junk in your past? Meet my mom, Sherry.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I'm Kimyetta's mother, and I'm here to share with you today about how I overcame generational curses. I'm from a small town in Sparta, Georgia, and it was nine of us and my parents. I had a mother and a father. We moved to Atlanta when I was about 10 years old. We moved to downtown Atlanta, which I loved. I loved when we moved to Atlanta. It was out of the country. And from there, we moved in a 2-bedroom apartment. So we didn't have much money. Mama left daddy. And it was just something that normal back then families would do. This was in the 1960s, of course. And from there, we moved into projects on McDaniel Street. And from there, I had my 2 daughters out of wedlock. In my family, mostly, the women hardly ever got married. It was just something, it was normal to have a child out of wedlock back in the early 70s. My daughter's daddy and I, we started living a life of crime. We started selling drugs. We just started gambling, drinking, just doing the stuff that normal kids normally do. And from there, we just lived a lifestyle of crime. And that was our life. I noticed as I was coming along, I noticed that most of the girls my children's age had started having babies, and it was just something that I knew I did not want my daughters to have. I wanted something different. I wanted a different lifestyle for them. I wanted something more for them out of life than just living in the projects, getting a $200 check, just not doing anything with their life. And I wanted something different. I noticed as a young girl coming up, my mother, every night, she would get on her knees and pray. Every night, my mama would be on her knees praying. Now, she wasn't a very deep Christian, because she'll go to church, but then she get out of church, she'll gamble when she get out of church. But that was just our lifestyle. But I knew I wanted something different. I wanted something different. I wanted a change for us, for my daughters. When I got a taste and seen that it was a better life for us, something different, I wanted something more for us, something more for them. I wanted a new life for us and for them. And I remember as a young a mother, I seen this older lady. I don't know where she came from. I always said she came from God. And that lady told me, she said, every day you pray for your children if you want something different for them in life. And I didn't even know how to pray. I didn't even know what to pray. Only thing I said was, Lord, help my children. But I would say it every day because that's what that lady told me to do. I got born again in 1982. Back then, the word really wasn't available like it is now. It was, I was kind of confused, but I still was searching and seeking really who God was. And I wanted to be able to just be on the right track to where God was leading me. I wanted to know him more. God had started revealing himself. Before I had got born again, I was drinking every day. Me and my boyfriend was on drugs. We were just getting out of whack. And it was bad. And I was planning on committing suicide. That's what I was planning on doing. I was gonna commit suicide. But then God sent somebody to knock on the door. Beat on the door, and it was one of my boyfriend's murdering friends. So God stopped that. And I remember one night, him and I, my children's daddy got into it real bad. We was in a fight, and it was snowing outside. We was in the kitchen. Next thing I know, he grabbed me around the neck, and he started choking me. And I must have passed out. So I think he thought I was dead. So he didn't have any clothes on, so he went in the bedroom. And when I came to on the floor, a literal voice spoke to me and said, get up, he's gonna kill you. And I ran out of the house, and I just ran. So I ran to one of my neighbor's house that lives in the back of me. And on my way going in her door, it was a preacher. He was a visiting preacher at our local church. And his name was Reverend Wimbush. Reverend Wimbush he was bald a little bit in the top. He had no teeth in the front, and his eyes was crossed. And when him and I was passing each other, he grabbed my hand and he said, what's your name? And I said, my name's Sherry Jackson, And I'm trying to pull my hand loose, and he won't let go. And he says, he prophesied on me right there. He said, at the age of 28, you're going to get born again. And he said, and your ministry is going to be a healing ministry. And he let go and he left. I'm like, this man is crazy. And I went on, mind you, I wasn't even born again. I didn't, nothing. I was like living in a life of crime and drugs. At the age of 28, I got born again. So in my search for Christ, went to the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Black Madonna, the Muslim temple. I talked to the Catholics, the Black Hebrews that was traveling to Florida. I was just doing all kind of, just seeking God, trying to find out who is this God that's trying to reveal himself to me. So my life has started revolving around trying to make life better for me and my children. I knew I wanted something that seemed so impossible that I knew if other people had it, I know I can have it too. And that it was a new life for me and my two children. And from that, I had to make a sacrifice. And I moved out of the projects, even though I was paying $9 a month for rent. But I knew that I needed to move forward with that. I needed to move forward with that. And I did. I made a sacrifice to move me and my children out of the projects. And for there, I met my husband. Afterwards, some years later, I didn't know anything. I just didn't know anything. Just coming out the projects. Didn't hardly know how to pay a bill. Didn't know how to write a check. Didn't know anything. Even though I was born again, I still would backslide. I still would drink and do things like that. When Jerry had asked me to marry him, I was kind of hesitant about it at first because I know he was 25 years older than I was. So I fasted for 3 days. And then I asked God the question, do you want me to marry this man? Should I marry him? And why? And the Lord, and I'm thinking it's going to be this fantastic, great ministry that God want me to do. And, you know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is going to be something big. But it was something simple. God said, I want you to take care of him. We had some rough patches in our marriage. However, but I made a decision at this time, I made a decision to serve the Lord totally. I decided to give the Lord my life completely and just live for him. Truly. I wanted to be an example to my children and grandchildren, which I have 3 beautiful grandchildren that I love so much. And I want to make sure that I be a perfect example for them to be able to say, hey, if grandma can do it, or if anybody look at me and say, if she did it, I can do it. And I try to talk to people and tell them that just trust God. Just trust God. You know, I have my own home. I drive my car and whatever I work. I have a good life. I really do. I love my life. I love my children, my grandchildren. I have 2 great son-in-laws that I love very much. And, but you can do it. I want you to be encouraged that God can do it. I had no idea that I would ever get married. I thought I would never get married. And I thought I'd never own a home. And don't even mention a car. I always thought that those things was far from me. But God he's blessed me. He's blessed me. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the life that he's given me. My husband passed away in 2020. And it's a very difficult loss. Even though when a part of him went, I went. But God is restoring me into something new and something wonderful. Be encouraged. I want to be able to just minister grace to the hearer right now, whomever is hearing me right now. I want you to know that God can do it, and he can do anything. I mean, I love God so much that I trust him, and I know that if he can do it for me, a little girl from the rural part of Sparta, Georgia, all the way to Georgia, in my own home. I have 5 acres here. I know he can do it for you. I want to thank everyone that was listening to me, and I pray that this blesses you. I'm going to be reading your comments on it, and I'll reply back to them. I pray that you will be blessed, and I pray that God just have something so wonderful for you.